What used to be a 60 horsepower Ripper is now a 600 horsepower Ripper in less than 7 days. My fastest turnaround to date. Let's see if we can get this out in 30 minutes. This will be a fun little project here and get me warmed up for the next big project that we're gonna be taking on in here, another rebuild. Gotta wake up our mechanic skills here for a little bit, and this is gonna be the perfect car to do so. And the first step for an engine swap is getting rid of all of the factory components, getting everything ready to get the stock D-Series engine removed, so we can make way for the new K-Series. You know what I'm just realizing? This is actually my first time doing a proper K-swap on a Honda. Now, when I bought this car years ago, it had a K-Series in it. Now we completely changed the whole setup, but this is my first time getting a stock, 100% stock Honda, tearing it apart and doing a swap into it. So that's quite cool. But we're gonna go ahead and get those hoses disconnected, grab our engine hoist over there, and get this yanked out of here. Now, thankfully, these Hondas are very, very easy to remove the engine and transmission, as it's a front wheel drive setup. There's no drive line, nothing like that. You could pull the engine and transmission together. Hondas are incredibly easy to work on in an application like this. And just 30 minutes later, we have the stock D-Series coming out. Let's get this out of here. Now the real fun begins, is fitting an engine that wasn't designed for a car into a car. Now thankfully this has been done thousands of times, the swap, so it is pretty bolt-on simple, but there are a few chassis things we need to modify, stuff like that, but engine's out. And just on cue, our new freight shipment with our new engine has arrived. Fragile. Let's get our new K-Series unwrapped here and take a look. Now I got this online. It is apparently a verified 30,000 mile engine. It is a K24A. This would be a perfect motor for this car, and actually my first time ever driving or having a K24 in my car. In the race car, we have a K20 that might be changing over the winter. We have a huge changes for this car over the winter. It's gonna be a long process, but regardless, K24 going in here, K24A to be specific. My goodness, we don't even need to wash this. This looks gorgeous. This might be a true 30,000 mile engine. Wow. Wow. Yeah, dang. Now, since we aren't using this engine in its stock application form, we need to go ahead and start dismantling everything on this engine that we're not going to be using. And before we can get the new engine placed inside of the chassis, we have to go ahead and remove the stock passenger mount that holds the factory D-Series in, so we can now retrofit it with a K-Series mount. That took way longer than I would have liked, but it's like wiggling a loose tooth once you have most of the connections done. But here we go. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 spot welds. But there we go. Now we can get our new K-Series mount on to drill 2 holes, I believe. Man of the hour here. I've just been hard at work. Almost ready to go in. Vivid TI titanium bolts. What is in here?
The whole care package for you.
Like, oh wow. Yeah. Okay, let's take a look here. Oh my goodness. And then we got a nice care package from my boy at Vivid TI, a full titanium hardware kit to make this engine bay pop. Every single titanium goodie. You offer this as a whole kit, right? Like,
yeah.
You can just order an entire. I probably look so goofy right now. I got the glasses on, hoodie up, bumping white girl music.
Got all your torque specs. So all your torque specs are on there.
Look at this, man.
Try to make it easy for you. And then if you get stuck on when you rip, because I know how you do, you rip these open sometimes.
Yeah, I rip it. Yeah,
I just printed out everything that's on there. So
golden. Now laid out on the table here, we have virtually everything we need to successfully do this K-swap. Now the biggest thing, obviously, the engine and transmission. That's ready to go in momentarily. but all of these other parts are gonna make this build work. So let's go ahead and get all this stuff opened up. Main company for this build being K-Tuned, as it's kind of the one-stop shop for K-swap builds. So we have a harness in here, we have so many miscellaneous things. Truthfully, I have forgotten all the stuff I ordered. So let's go ahead, have ourselves a nice early Christmas here, and take a look at what we're throwing on. Let's get this placed there. From skunk to racing. Let's see what we got in here. Our nice intake manifold. It's gonna look spicy. Pretty nice piece here. Oh yeah. Now that's a unit right there. This is a big boy. 6466. Awesome goodies in here. Our adapter so we can run our turbo feed line. I don't know what this is. Map port plug. Fuel pressure regulator bracket. Our inline fuel filter. Our Hal Effect TPS. Upper coolant, okay, I did order this. Upper coolant housing, that's good. Throttle body. Fuel pressure regulator. Fuel rail. Intake manifold gasket. Looks like I got 2 of those. A nice little K-Tuned beauty plate for the coil pack cover. Here's our Haltech plug and play harness. And inside this box should be Haltech's new, I guess, yeah, it's probably their newest Nexus series. This is the S3. I think it's kind of the predecessor to the Elite 2500. So this is, let's open this up. Oh, this is cute. This is so tiny. Look at that. This is a pretty cool looking piece here. This is a Sidewinder, in my opinion. It is the best looking. I had to make a call to my boy, who is a lot stronger than I am. And we finally got the transmission obviously made to the engine, and it is now hanging by itself in the engine bay. Have all of the mounts done. Now we need to do some very basic plumbing, get some things on here, because I'm hoping tomorrow I can get this dropped off at our fab shop, because they need to go through and build me charge piping for this. And they're gonna be doing a full exhaust on here as well. I don't really care to have this going out the hood. I want this to be a sleeper street car. So they are gonna build me the whole exhaust, the custom downpipe to go underneath the car. I ordered up the muffler that we're gonna be using for it. It's gonna be sick, it's gonna be an awesome setup, but obviously in order to get the charge piping done, we have to go ahead and get the front mount intercooler, the intake manifold on, and the exhaust manifold, the turbo hung, and that's kind of all we need right now from FabWise, and then we can go through, start doing all of our custom plumbing. We have to build a few coolant lines, we need to route the engine harness, I'm sure maybe trim it up a little bit, I don't know exactly the fitment of it. K-Tuned is pretty good, so I'm assuming it'll be just a direct bolt-on option here for us. But yeah, we're pretty close, pretty far away. I'm still waiting on my shifter to come in from K-Tuned as well, so I can go ahead, obviously get the shifter cables in and the shifter mounted, so that should be here any day, but it's not detrimental to us right now. So it's pretty fun seeing it like this. It might look gross right now. It's gonna look very, very cool soon. Obviously, we're not keeping this valve cover. We're gonna get some nice powder coat work done for my boy at Dark Matter Coatings. It's gonna be such a sick build, but let's go ahead and start plumbing up a little bit. Let's actually go ahead and toss on our front mount intercooler. I'm curious if we have to trim anything. I already have the cutoff wheel ready, sitting right there. I'm not afraid to cut up a car. So the first thing that we did already is we removed the front crash bar. Now, I kind of like having a crash bar on the car, but I don't there's not a way to make it work. People oftentimes cut it off here and leave these pretty much right here. They cut it down, but at that point you don't even have a crash bar. So at that point we are just going to go ahead and remove it and utilize the bolt holes here to actually hang our intercooler. So it'll be quite fancy. This is all from DC5 Creations. They make some pretty cool products. My first time running their intercooler and this bracket setup. So let's go ahead and see how that fits. Let's go ahead and begin on our basic plumbing. Currently getting the exhaust manifold on so we can get the turbo hung. We need to then throw on the intake manifold, front mount intercooler, and then it's ready for fab. That's gonna look so crazy. Now, speaking of things that I'm always missing with builds, I don't have the flange to actually attach the exhaust manifold to the turbo. So I need to pick one of these up tomorrow. Hopefully I can find one locally. And once this is mounted on, it is ready for fab. They can do all the charge piping and stuff like that, which is pretty exciting. And here we go. We got our little bitty turbo finally hung on here. It is a 6466. It's a big turbo, but it's the smallest turbo I've ever ran on any one of my cars. I think literally ever. So I'm very excited to see how responsive this car is. Now being a 2.4 liter versus the 2 liter, we're gonna get way more torque out of the 2.4 liter naturally. And a small turbo should make it very, very responsive on the street. Next up that we need to figure out, so I need to order everything while this car is at fab, is start throwing in our new wiring harness. Now K-Tune makes a fantastic tucked harness. So this will work for a lot of stuff, but we need to figure out what stuff we need to add in. If we're gonna add any sensors, stuff like that, we do need to build the power wire for the starter, stuff like that. The ECU that we're gonna be running is of course from our boys at Haltech. This is their newer line here. This is the Nexus S3. Very, very, very baller ECU. And here we have the plug and play harnesses. This should pretty much be a direct just bolt on option. There will be a little bit of wiring what to do, versus this Honda where I built every single lead and connector on here to make it work for my specific setup. So this will be a nice little break from wiring. Hopefully we don't have to add too much, but let's go ahead, get the stock ECU yanked out of here, all of the wiring that corresponds to the old engine, and then put the new one in. And located right here is our stock ECU that we're gonna go ahead and get rid of. But it's time to go ahead and get the Honda all loaded up to head on over to Strayed Fabrication. Yes! Okay, now we have that one little hump. Even though it's just a Honda Civic, that wasn't that easy. What's up, guys? But here we go. We have our gorgeous new charge piping on. My first time ever using 304 stainless steel. Every other turbo kit I've ever had made, it's always been aluminum, which I always thought to be better, but my heart has changed. This looks way better, especially when it gets welded up. The coloration on this is gorgeous. Right now they're working on the whole exhaust side, working with the exhaust turbine on the turbo. Once they finish that up, they can start building our downpipe and then get our full exhaust ran on here. This is gonna be like the ultimate sleeper perfect build. It's not gonna be hood dubbed, it's not gonna be super loud. We also do have a muffler. I'm really excited. We're gonna go ahead and actually open this up now. This is what the factory one is on the car. It's literally a 1.5 inch. It's incredibly small. We're gonna go ahead and get this opened up. It's very fitting to the car, I think. I don't really see these types of mufflers or exhaust tips often. Let's go ahead and see what this is from Speed Factory. We have a turn down exhaust tip. That is so crazy cool. And here we are the next day. The exhaust is done. This is so crazy. I don't think I've ever seen a K-Series turbo setup with a full exhaust. It's always out the hood, out the fender, whatever it may be. This looks incredible. We have our O2 button here so we can get our wideband in. Full 3-inch, 304 straight back to our turn down or our lobster tail. It looks so incredibly good. Fits amazing as well. We do have the new shifter bracket in as well. Now this whole build is slightly overkill. The goal is that we can up power with the car pretty easily. I mean, we have an overkill ECU. We have the Nexus S3. It does not need a Nexus S3 by any means, but everything on here is ready to make more power. We are on a stock engine, still these stock engines. This car I ran for a year and a half on a stock engine, making 700 horsepower. Now granted, when you're front wheel drive, you're not properly set up for front wheel drive. You're spinning a lot, which is so much fun in these cars, but with spinning, you're not having that much load on the engine. So with the high horsepower, it is able to live a long time. So we are in a stock engine, but if we ever wanted to, we could put a built engine in here, turn it up and get more aggressive with it. The 6.466 will still make plenty of power. It's not capped out by, it's not capped out at 500 or 600 horsepower. It's just, we're taming ourselves with this build here.
But it's good.
Dude, it's pretty close to the wheel.
It's not bad, it's darker, for sure.
That's gonna look so good.
Yeah, it's definitely darker, but
It's gonna look pretty good.
I think it'll be totally fine. It's not like they're sitting next to each other.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I think it'll be close enough that you all use it.
Now this is what I mean, the last 10% is the most time consuming. We spent the better part of like 4 hours finding parts. The whole frunk is full of just random miscellaneous stuff we need. Throttle body, cables, adapters, hoses, I mean, everything. But the good news is I think we're about able to find everything else we need. But unfortunately it took about 4 hours of driving around town to do this. So we have coolant hose. I mean, we have new filters, battery terminals. We are also converting this to a drive-by-wire. That was my intention beforehand, but I thought it'd be simple with the drive-by cable until I realized that the idler control valve is $500 from Honda, and absolutely not. It is significantly cheaper at that point to just go the route of a drive-by-wire, especially if you have the ECU for it. So we are gonna be ditching this, putting on a drive-by-wire. It's gonna simplify this quite a bit, and it's gonna drive significantly better. I know some people swear by that drive-by cable. It's not where it's at. So we're gonna go ahead and convert that, put the new pedal in. Rye-wire makes a fantastic, essentially plug and play. We do still have to tap into the ECU, wire that in, but very, very nice kit. Well, we have new cables. We do also have a shifter. We are actually able to utilize the factory shifter. It looks weird. I'm not the biggest fan. I love K-Tune's products, but we can get this now. I still might upgrade to the K-Tune in a little bit here, but these shift fantastic. It's factory, it's gonna bolt in perfectly, and we are able to retain the center console still with the K-tuned plate that goes under the trans tunnel. We do have to cut this out a little bit to make it work, but if you guys can see the black plate under there, that's where the factory shifter will bolt up, and we can have the center console and it will look completely factory. And now with our new supply of parts, it's time to go through and start the final assembly of the car. Currently underneath the dashboard, disconnecting the factory drive-by cable pedal so we can then install our new drive-by wire. But here is our old drive-by wire assembly. What we need to do now is go ahead and cut this flush right here. We're gonna be separating the gas pedal from the brake pedal. Our new drive-by-wire pedal will bolt on to those two holes. Take a look at this. We now have our new gas pedal, which is now drive-by-wire. We have the lead going through the middle of the dash here. Gonna go ahead and get this wired up a little later today, but it's so sick. It feels so much better. And now it's time to go ahead and start cutting up the chassis, currently cutting out the area where the new shifter is gonna bolt in. All right, here we go. We got the main area cut down. Now this is sheet metal, and unfortunately, if you take a look here, you see the two different layers. There's no going around that, so to properly seal this so it doesn't rust over the years is we're gonna go through and actually seam seal all of these edges. And then this plate down below that goes to the trans tunnel, we're gonna go ahead and seal that in as well. That way, nothing gets into the cabin if you're driving on a rainy road, whatever it may be. So we now need to go ahead, drop this plate down, do some mock fitting, see if that shifter fits. I'm assuming we're probably gonna have to do a few trimming revisions, and then the shifter will be mounted. And then as you guys can see right here, this hole, that's where the cables go through. Now, after a little bit of love here, take a look at this. Looks completely factory. We have the factory center console in here, and we have the shifter. It feels fantastic. And then we take this knob off. Long threads. Then if we slide this out, you guys can see what I had to cut up here. I still need to go ahead and clean this up, but you guys can kind of get the idea here. It is now mounted under the chassis. We have it all notched out, and it shifts amazing. We're gonna go ahead and clean this up a little bit, but we now have a working shifter. Time to move on to the next thing. Now I'm just going through here, needing to build some custom spacers for our K-tune fuel rail to fit our specific injectors. Just going through, getting some measurements, get them cut down, and then we can start building our fuel system. So we need to go ahead and figure out our lengths, coming off our feed back here to our filter, and then our fuel rail. Now, I would argue that one of the hardest things when it comes to building a car and making it look aesthetic is figuring out an accent color. Now, a lot of people go basic, whether black, silver, whatever, and it is very clean. I am a huge fan of. But my other Civic, of course, is blue. I decided to go poppy with the yellow valve cover, so I thought might as well keep the trend going with this one. Now, I jokingly threw on my TEs off of this car, and I was quite a fan of the combo. So these are the new wheels for this car. And I decided to make all of the accents that color as well. So we have the valve cover and compressor housing. Let's go ahead and get these popped off and thrown on. And also while we're in here, went through and we're gonna be replacing all of the seals. Already got the spark plug tube seals and the valve cover seal. That way we know everything's good. You're kidding. That looks so good. This looks incredible. And now with our new power lead made, we can now move on to getting the rest of the accessories addressed, like building our oil drain line, our feed line, and even drilling into our brand new manifold so we can add our 1/8" NPT bungs for our map sensor and vacuum line. And while I'm working on all that, we have my tuner Brian over getting us ourselves a base map so we can get our first start. But I'm just going through here in the engine bay, getting all of the miscellaneous pins connected for our injectors, map sensor, and other accessories. All right, so we have a lot of the wiring done, how to go through and repin all of the injectors, map sensor, a few other things, because all of these are, if you're using a stock injector, stock map sensor, which we are not using anymore, so I had to go ahead and of course switch all the pins to make it work with the specific setup that we're doing. And I had to wire in boost controller because obviously a stock K-series does not come turboed. So there's a few things we need to do, but there's one more main harness I need to run from the ECU out into the engine bay to connect the throttle body, stuff like that. Shouldn't take me more than about an hour, hour and a half. And then once that's done, this car will fire up. I have a huge heaping mess in the shop now to clean up. So once we get that wired up, it's cleanup time. And put fluids in, transmission fluid, oil, and water, or coolant. And we should be good for our first start. All right, I have been up almost 48 hours straight and I'm exhausted. I need to get some sleep. So we are gonna go ahead and try for the very first start. Now the car is not quite complete. Unfortunately, the axles I was throwing in right now were not the right size. The spline count was different, and of course it's too late to go get new axles. So we have all of the wheels off. I have the front 2 new coilovers on. I'll do the rear coilovers as well, but we have one water leak I found, which is just a plug, an 1/8 NPT plug, so I'll pick one of those up tomorrow. We just put in the 5 quart of Valvoline VR1 at 1030, the good. Fresh build. I mean, let's see what happens. It should theoretically start. All of the wiring should hopefully be good. We do have to go ahead before I believe we can start this is calibrate our throttle body. Takes about 30 seconds. I'll show you guys that process, but we'll put this back on, plug in our ECU, and pray.
What is that?
It's not working.
It's not even turning over.
No. I'm missing something. I'm actually so upset, yet so happy right now. Okay, so I was going off of no sleep, 2 hours of sleep the last 48 hours. Just got myself a nice 7 hours of sleep. Came into the shop because I need to get this car running. And what we figured out here is everything so far is wired right, except I think I still have a wiring issue with the throttle body. Regardless, the engine itself was not grounded to the chassis, which is a big problem because this whole engine harness is running here and it's not grounded. So obviously, without grounding and power, or like 9 out of 10 times going to be an issue if something weird is going on, especially on a fresh build. Now take a look at this. I haven't started it yet, but I've just been playing around. Look at this. It cranks. Fuel pump's on. Battery voltage is a little low. I'm so nervous. Ready? we need more power. So anxious. Let's go!
Oh, it's pouring water.
Huh? Where is it pouring?
From that thing you didn't do tight.
Oh, I forgot to plug it again. God fucking damn it. Okay. It runs, baby! And here we go, getting all of the wheels placed on, just going through and replacing the driver's side ball joints. Got my tuner here, Brian, making sure this thing runs. Now we got it started, but it's a little off. Already, it's idling a little bit better. So he has a little bit of seat time ahead of us in the driver's seat to get it to run right. Tonight we're gonna do just some very minuscule driving, just make sure we can drive this from point A to B. When I get back from SEMA, because I leave in 2 days, we're gonna put this car on the street, put some boost into it, put it on the dyno, and see what we end up making in this. That's insane. Easily probably one of the gnarliest Hondas I've heard. The nice thing too, that we are now a full exhaust. On this car, it's hood exit. It's very loud out of the exhaust. So you're not able to hear much of the turbo or the blow off valve or any of those fun noises. So now that this car has a full exhaust, you get all of the fun noises that we all love as car guys. The blow off valve, the turbo noises. I can't wait to drive this on the street. Now I'm gonna say it. This is by far already my favorite car I've ever had, and I was not expecting it. The noises it makes, and I'm sure once we start driving this, it is going to be an absolute blast. This I love. This is obviously my baby, but this is a race car. I can't drive on the street. It sucks. McLaren is obviously amazing as well, but this, there's something about just, I don't know, the inner child in me freaks out with this. This is, like, don't get me wrong, absolutely amazing, but I feel like, I don't know. So the next part of this is actually gonna kill me, and I genuinely did not expect me to fall in love with this car. But this car is going to one of you guys. As of right now, you guys watching this video, this will be going to one of you guys. The giveaway is now live, and it runs all the way through November, and then once it hits December 1st, the giveaway is shut down. And I'm not even like making this up. I genuinely did not expect this car to be one like this nice and this crazy. It's insane. And I genuinely maybe kind of wish I would keep this to myself, but I mean, all the paperwork's done. The giveaway is live. One of you guys are going to be taking home an incredible car. From day one when I bought this car, I knew I wanted to do this build and do a giveaway on it. So that way you guys can experience a car like this, but in a street version. It's still front wheel drive, small turbo, 2.4 liter, very responsive, very torquey, full exhaust, complete street car. I mean, you have the full interior here. Don't worry, the next video we are gonna be changing all the seats and stuff like that as well, but you get the full amenities of a street car without taking it to the next level. All right, first time putting it in gear. She drives like stock. First ride, baby.
It runs.
It does run. Oh, it's so dark, guys. There's no lights in here. Well, the one con I forgot about is there's no real lights in there. You don't have any lights over your head. You only have this little dome light, which is it's horrific. So I couldn't really show you guys much, but here we are. We just made it down the street. It drives literally like factory. The shifter feels amazing. The turbo is insane. We are gonna be driving this first thing in the morning to film some ads for the giveaway that one of you guys will be taking home. So I'll be able to show you guys. Looks like I also need to replace one of my light bulbs. And now we're just out this morning doing some ads for the giveaway. And truthfully, like I mentioned, I'm actually kind of sad now this car is going away. Finally getting a little bit of seat time behind here. It's so nice driving a Honda again that has full interior. It's not ridiculously loud, but we are now doing our first coffee run, get some energy for these ads. I cannot wait to start tuning this car, getting the boost. So far, I love it. Makes all of the noises that you want in a street car. And I never thought having cup holders would be so nice. Now this is kind of fun. Driving around, we wound ourselves to my old elementary school. It has been, it feels like decades since I've been here. Pretty crazy to be back here. The turbo noise. And well, here we go. The K-Swap Turbo EG hatch is now living the next day. It's been driving fantastic, and we haven't really been able to dial them and tune that much. Obviously, it's good to drive right now. In this video, I was really trying to get it under some boost, but unfortunately, there's just a few things I'm waiting on, and I leave for Vegas to attend SEMA, so there is no time. So we are gonna have to pick this back up when we get back from SEMA. It's gonna be such a fun time. I'm driving the 720 all the way down and back. So when we get back from SEMA, we're gonna get this thing on the dyno, make some power, and this car is going to one of you guys. So let me know down below in the comments, what mod would you like me to do to the car? Maybe a front lip, carbon mirrors are a must, carbon wing. Leave me your input, because after all, this car is going to one of you guys. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Fun little quick build. Hopefully this helps maybe some of you guys doing a K-Swap in your car. What all is required? Also, the IC7 dash looks so fantastic in here. But with all that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.